Hey everyone, it's Teddy, aka James Kazao on MTGO, coming back for another Grixis Control Friday video. Recently, Pokemoki, which is a name you'll probably recognize if you follow Legacy Control slash Tempo decks, kind of decks like the one I've been working on for a while. You're playing a control deck, but you're always trying to find ways you can pivot. In fact, I've also shouted out Pokemoki on this channel before when I was trying playing a Singleton Days in my list. Anyways, Pokemoki, fantastic pilot, and deck brewer recently took this current list we're looking at to second place in the Legacy Challenge, which is pretty cool. Usually when challenge results pop up for Grixis Control, it's pretty far and few between. And we've talked a little bit back and forth on X, Twitter, whatever. And his starting point was one of my recent 5-0 lists, or maybe it was one of my challenge results, but you can see some stuff that's held over, like the one of Reanimate, the one of Tamio, Kolgon's Command, one of Narset, stuff a lot of people aren't playing, but I am. Almost 4 Lightning Bolts, and has taken it in a really cool direction. Baked in, we have Hullbreacher Dack Fayden, or Bowmaster's Dack Fayden, or Dack Fayden Narset. Just this kind of weaponized +1 on Dack Fayden that can make a player draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. It could be a kind of aggressive loot, weird kind of Nekusar thing if you have a Bowmaster's out, because they'll still draw the cards and get that selection, but we'll also get Bowmaster triggers. But with a Hullbreacher out, it's completely devastating. They have to discard 2 cards and we get 2 treasure tokens. It's insane. Narset, it gets a little more weird. They draw 1 usually and then have to discard 2, so then it becomes almost like Chains of Mephistopheles in a weird way. Anyways, having this package baked into your deck really brings a new angle of attack for the deck, since usually Grixis Control is really scraping by on thin margins and just finding the perfect avenue for victory. We're not like Beanstalk Control that will just completely overwhelm with card advantage, or Jeskai Control, which will completely stabilize the board and hand and then have a big winning play. So I really like this new angle of attack. It should allow us to maintain a lead if we ever pull ahead, which at some point in games we win, we do usually pull ahead. So I'm excited to try this out to accommodate more red cards in the main deck, because if you look at my main deck, it's usually just, yeah, Kolgon's Command and Lightning Bolt are the 2 red cards I play mostly. So to accommodate Dack Fayden and Molten Collapse, there's 2 Thundering Falls in the list and also 2 Volcanic Islands, so we're quite a bit heavier on red. There's also a utility land in the Mana Base, which is something we hardly ever see in Grixis Control, even though recently I've been trying out Mistrise Village, and that's Gaia Reach Sanitarium. This is a Pioneer All-Star. It taps for colorless, and it also comes in untapped, so that's awesome. And then you can pay 2 and tap it, and each player loots 1, draws a card, and then discards a card, which is pretty potent if you have something like Hullbreacher out, or Bowmasters even, like I talked about, and with Narset too. Just a lot of ways to get your opponent's hand empty or generate damage or increased power and toughness on board for you. I'm just excited for all the lines that might come up in this league. Over in the sideboard, nothing too out of the ordinary. Pokemoki is much higher on blue cards in the sideboard. I hardly play any in my sideboard, just consigned to memory these days. But we got Dress Down, helps out in so many crazy situations. And then Blue Blasts, like I said in the MRSJ League that came out recently. I love Blue Blasts. I just think the matchup is already good enough outside of Sneak and Show. Maybe that's what this is for. I'm not sure what Pokemoki's been facing, but I'm excited to bring these in against Sneak and Show if we get matched up against that. And then this Leyline of the Void, I think I talked about it in my 4 drops tier list video. Having a 1 of Leyline is one of my favorite things to do. Sometimes it shows up in your opening hand and it's great. Sometimes it shows up late game and you can shut off your opponent's graveyard with a difficult to interact with permanent. So yeah, it's great. Everything else looks pretty familiar if you've been watching the channel. 1 of Opposition Agent, 2 Meltdowns, some Red Blasts. So yeah, I'm excited to try this out. I love flash creatures. I think that's a reason why Hullbreacher is viable. I played it a long time ago, but recently haven't really been too drawn to the card. But yeah, I love flash creatures, so excited to play with it again. Let's hop in. On the draw for round 1 against Chris McNasty. Can always count on McNasty to play some pretty insane stuff. So despite this hand not having any blue mana, the Force of Will and the fact that they're mulliganing makes me pretty inclined to keep. Yeah, now they're down to 5. But this is like pretty weird extended Grixis Control techniques here. I don't really recommend trying this at home. Yeah. This will name Wasteland, I'm sure. Yep. I thought you'd know me by now, Chris McNasty. There's some comfort to getting this art for Force of Will on MTGO. The version of this card is way too expensive, but it's nice to have it reflect my paper deck. Unfortunately, I can't condone Therese Nielsen, but I think in this particular zone I'm going to separate art from the artist and just be comfortable with the Force of Wills I recognize. Yeah, I'm going to lead on Badlands. It's a weird land that people will usually see and think like Reanimator or something like that. Cloud Post. We need a clock. This is not going great. Send it back. I mean, next turn, Gaia Reach Sanitarium can start drawing me towards that blue source. I still haven't done anything. That's fine. I'm not going to ever fight them on their mana. That one I will fight them on. I lost in the Legacy Super Qualifier to this deck because they top decked in Ulamog. They also only had like 1 minute 30 seconds left on their clock. It was truly heartbreaking, and I wanted to scream and shout. That was a rough one. Just one of those moments when you just have to accept it's not your day. Some games have a lot of variance. Magic has a lot of variance. Expedition map. Yep. That's pretty scary if they get Ivugan. They can start putting together an endgame that's frankly just hard to overcome. Yeah, they're going to do it now. I don't know why they wouldn't get Ivugan here. Oh, Planar Nexus, that's interesting. Other thing I can do is Kolaghan's Command. Get their last card, but I don't think it's going to be too important here. Let's do this. Just a blue card, huh? I see how it is. They discard Saga? What is their last card? It must be incredible. I'm going to take it. Ugin the Ineffable. Yeah, that card is good. Manifold Key. Don't mind that so much. I could really use a blue source. I'm sorry about this embarrassing display so far. Yikes. This is getting a little funny. Okay, thank you. Let's go Dack Fayden. If they play another ring, well, the damage will probably already be done, unfortunately, because they have that Manifold Key. I can tap a little bit better. Just a little bit. Try and fix this hand up a little bit. Yeah. We can get a pretty good clock going soon. Yeah, let's just drop a couple ponders here. I don't really have much faith in fading for much longer, though. Somehow it's happening. And a Baraglyph. Let's do this. I really want to Force a Will. Hullbreacher is also not bad. It's very good at stopping one ring shenanigans. Can also start ramping us I'm going to discard Tamio. I don't really think I'll have any time for that. Cast Ponder. I need a Force. I suppose Edict will do in a vacuum. Or in a pinch, rather. Alright, send it back. As long as the One Ring is how they're gonna get all their cards. Pretty soft against, you know the one. Mystic Forge. Alright. Let's get them empty here. Get some more mana to work with. Hit for 3. Got the sweet draw step lock with Gaia Reach. That is incredibly cruel. And we'll play a Baraglyph as well. Discard this Brainstorm. It was just a Saga. It's not even really likely how they're planning on winning, but... Okay, there's the Force. That makes me feel a lot better. This will give me a hard cast Force of Will as well. Things are getting a little out of control. My creatures will get the job done. If I even, like, find another bolt, I can win on the spot. I didn't mill one. I think it's worth brainstorming for it. See if it shows up, you know. It does not. That's fine. Put back Bolt Bowmasters. Or we'll go like that. Yeah. There's a Construct. Gaia Reach Lock. Looking good. Well, we definitely took advantage of their stumbling. There's a lot of scenarios where that would not have gone well, because we failed on the blue card for so long. Fortunately, that did not happen. Ugin the Ineffable is pretty uncommon, but it's a super powerful planeswalker from War of the Spark. Can lead to some really scary, just busted scenarios, because it makes colorless spells cost 2 less, I think. It even generates card advantage, I think. I should look it up real quick. We had a rather rude name for it. I'm sure you can guess what that is. Yeah, it kind of generates card advantage in its own weird way. You like can manifest the top card of your library, and if the token leaves the battlefield, you just put the card in your hand, so it's a lot better than manifesting. Then for -3, it can destroy a permanent that's 1 or more colors. Classic Ugin hate. And yeah, colorless spells cost 2 less to cast. No restriction there, so spells can become free. I think we want Dress Down and Consign. Definitely Consign. Meltdown, sure. Agent, absolutely. Thoughtseize, yes, because their cards are so much stronger than ours. Dack Fayden should shine here. I don't want Baraglyph against a deck with Kozilek's Command. We're a little top heavy. Yeah, we don't need Cling. Bolt will be pretty poor. Although they probably have Fleshraker. So let's actually trim Push. Even though Push is solid against constructs, that's not how we want to interact with constructs. In fact, you're in pretty bad shape if you're trading 1-for-1 with constructs. I think I gotta keep Molten Collapse. I need every out to Ugin the Storms, and this will probably actually be pretty easy to 2-for-1 in this matchup. Oh, Spellbomb, sideboard, reanimate sideboard. Can trim one of these lands too. One of the Volcanic Islands, because I already only have 1 Badlands. Very used to only playing with 1 Volcanic Island. It's usually how I like playing. I think we'll have a harder time. We were given, I think that was the perfect game 1, because it got to really demonstrate how powerful some of the things this deck can do are. The lock with Gyre Reach and Hullbreacher is nuts when your opponent has no cards in hand. Cloudpost go. Alright. We will definitely Thoughtseize them. Yeah, there's Ugin of the Storms. A lot of really powerful cards. Provided I want some kind of board presence at some point, Ugin is the hardest to trade 1-for-1 with. The others you can like force and feel okay about it. Even though it's a much for later problem, we're not going to end the game before they get 7 mana. Let's be real, folks. And if they Monolith Storm out a Planeswalker, they don't. I was hoping they would. That was a good draw. Okay. Ponder. I don't think any of these are acceptable to draw, except maybe the Strix. But because there are 2 unacceptable cards in here, it's not like I can surveil away one of the lands. I'll still have to draw the other one. Yikes. I was planning on just playing this, but I think I gotta Ponder again. I feel like they're gearing up for a double spell. Okay, that's better. Kind of. Still need to surveil that Badlands away, I think. That would mean not playing Opposition Agent next turn. I mean, the Sanitarium has other uses as well. Like, I could loot away lands I don't want. But you gotta be careful because you do not want to give that deck the opportunity to just get deeper in, you know? It's not good. Force that. They can do a huge Kozilek's Command. I hope they don't. They probably will on my end step. Yeah, maybe I forced the wrong thing. Maybe it should have been the other way around. Let Karn do its thing and then Edict. I don't know. I think it's fine. Play this out. I don't think they're going to search their deck. I think they're going to play the biggest Kozilek's Command you've ever seen. Yeah, the tables have really been turned, as opposed to game 1. At what point is scrying just searching your deck? Trinisphere? Don't mind that one. There it is. I hope it doesn't... Oh, yeah, it will plus, unfortunately. I'll do this now. What's under there? Bin it. Alright, go to 14. Cran. That's good. Are they gonna lattice me? It'd be pretty effective. Oh, Golos? Well, this is gonna work out for me. Oh, that's a May? Lame. Golos is unfortunately a fire design card. Yeah, how am I supposed to keep up with this through a Trinisphere? I'll probably take a draw step and concede. Bolt? I mean, okay. I'll keep playing, I guess. Golos has an incredible toughness, though, so I'm not optimistic about getting it off the battlefield. I don't think I can block realistically. Kolaghan's Command would be kind of nice. Alright, cast Ponder. It would be nice provided this card is not good. Double Hullbreacher. I don't think that's good enough. Edict does take care of Golos. Maybe the Hullbreacher lock is what I need, though. If they miss on their next top deck, and the Spirit Token is not that great, man. They gotta miss. It's gonna be agonizing, but it's like not impossible for this to work out. They play a lot of lands, just saying. Untapping some monoliths. You got it. It's also only a matter of time before eventually, like, we can try and Gyre Reach lock them, but they might draw, like, Kozilek's Command at some point. That would not be good. It looks like they already hit something totally messed up. Is this Emrakul? Or is it a Kozilek's Command for X equals 19? I mean, depending on how good their scry is, we might still be able to beat this. This is great, though. Yeah. I don't think we'll ever be able to get through this without Flying Threat, though. 19 chump blockers. I mean, they'll probably just be able to cast some game-ending spell right now. But we were pretty close. It takes a long time to resolve a Scry 19, though, because you do have to designate for every single card whether it goes to the top or bottom. Let's just go to the next game. I don't want them to have to do that. Chris McNasty and I, we fight a lot, but I do love him. I think I just run it back. Damn, though. They have Golos? Damn. I might want to reanimate Golos. That's such a weird corner case, and it's never going to happen. That's good. Give me your One Ring, and if you won't, maybe I'll make sure it doesn't do very much. Don't take some mulligan. Still haven't seen Fleshraker, but it would be insane for a deck like this to not run Fleshraker. Do I need a backup Dack Fayden? It's a little more attractive than land number 4 off the bat. It's a blue card. If they Pithing Needle, I'm pretty sure they Pithing Needle Dack Fayden. It wouldn't be that hard to get it out of the way. Saga. That's their plan for this game. Meltdown lines up real nice against Saga. Not well against, I guess, anything else they do. Saga's a big one. It's a big one. I'm guessing they have Ancient Tomb here. Yeah. You wouldn't really do this otherwise. It's giving up quite a bit. They don't have any other artifacts, though, so there's a part of me that feels like resolving one of these Planeswalkers is pretty okay. Pretty acceptable. One thing's for sure would be, like, terrible to not spend my mana this turn. There we go. They can definitely just combo and win, but I hope they think it's worthwhile to make constructs. Beautiful. That's all I ever wanted. Guessing we'll see them get a key. Oh, map? Alright, I think we're in pretty good shape. We'll take 3. They don't have that much mana. Island. Melt it down before attacking. So I don't ruin my new clue. This is like Dismember? Brainstorm, just kidding. Maybe I should have attacked first, I don't know. Kran. Going up with Karn. That is distressing. Agent. That could save me from a Lattice. Could also just like Narset though. I don't know, it's tough. They already used one Dismember. It wouldn't be that hard for them to play a Lattice, I don't think. Soul Land, Urza's Tower. We need to remain vigilant. Crucible? Well, that's terrible. I can take it with Dack, though. So we'll need to suffer one more Saga. And this Saga might even help us a little bit if they don't have another Dismember. But yeah, that's wild. I guess I don't know. There's no reason to do this right now. What am I doing? The Cruce is on the loose. That's what I always say. Alright, play Agent. Bolt Karn. Regrettable. Hullbreacher. Does that change anything? I don't know. Making land drops is good. Disruptor Flute. Figures. Alright. Well, I'll just be hanging out for a moment. What is this 5-mana spell? Kozilek's Command. I really didn't want me to see their deck. Man, Disruptor Flute on Dack is pretty hurtful to this deck, I must say. And to this deck. Thoughtseize. Yep. Oh my god. Ugin the Spirit Dragon. Golos. I don't know how I'm gonna get through this stuff. So many threats. They're only being held in check by their surprising lack of mana. But yeah. I guess I'll take the thing they can cast right now. I mean, they can cast two things. Golos and Karn. Golos will explode their mana, though. By simply resolving. Yeah, better take that one. And then Narset needs to dig me towards my next Meltdown. In the meantime, though, Force is quite nice. Yeah, Meltdown for 4, or X equals 3. We should be able to get there. Pithing Needle on what? Aw, dude. That one's fine. Yep. Uh-huh. Force that. Damn. So I just need to hit Meltdown just off the top naturally now. Not living my odds. Kolaghan's Command. So if I hit the Disruptor Flute, I can steal Grim Monolith, I guess? Is that how we're working through this? And then to be mana efficient, I should also cast Tamiyo? Or no, I should have them discard. Because all their cards are freaking fire. And then maybe next turn I can start. I'll probably discard Ugin, right? Thinking about Hullbreacher deck. Yeah. I mean, I'd rather take the Crucible now that Ugin's gone. I often say I don't try to fight their mana. Which one do I take? Can I get latticed? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Yes, I can. Take the monolith. Well, that settles it. I feel like you should be able to choose a new name for Pithing Needle if you take control of it. Caracas. Cran. Now what? Liquid metal coating. Oh joy. They're at 6. Can I end this? Can't believe my treasure tokens don't work. That's the worst part of all of this. Do I even do this? Yeah, hold the phone. Do I even do this? My treasure tokens don't work. They have no cards in hand. I mean, I do need pressure on board. I really do. So it's not free for them to just lattice. Oop. Okay. We are going to conceal that. I think we're actually just going to discard it. They spend any time at all just being too worried about destroying this. We might be able to get the punish. There's Bolt. There's the Bolt. And a Badlands. I wish I could have both. Oh, okay. Floating. Oh no, what does that mean? Candelabra? What did they draw? They're at 2. Hope they didn't draw that Ugin. That Ugin! Fuck. God, that's so bad. They'll be just out of range. I mean, if they try to draw a card, they won't draw a card, but they'll be good enough. God, barely out of range here. Yep. Killing me. Killing me. Card makes a wish. Just can't get enough cards, unfortunately. Tormod's Crypt. There goes Dack. Fortunately, we have to pack this up unless they go completely off script, bonkers, and tap the Ancient Tomb before anything else. Next turn. It's the only way this works out. Could have used some more consign to memories this match. Maybe I melt down too early. I'm not really sure. Glimmer Post? Ah, forget this. Epic match. It was a good one, but yeah. Alright. Welcome back for round number 2. Absolutely insane hand. I'm on the draw. Opponent's taking a mulligan. I don't really like conceding resources when I play Grixis Control. And we have quite a few looks at a black source. We're up against Delver, so these bolts are super nice. Sometimes they'll use Bobble to try and flip their Delver. I don't have a blue card. I also like playing around Daze, so I'm just going to play this Thundering Falls. Use my life total as a resource a little bit. I'll take Brainstorm. Cap. You got it. Ponder's fine. So I think the way this will work out, I'll let them show me the card they're about to draw, and then I'll bolt Delver. And then ideally, I don't have to force. Then maybe I'll have a black source before too long. Oh, interesting. They're really stretching my patience here. But yeah, I'm just gonna try and Bowmasters this thing now, I guess. Yeah. It usually works out that way. Seek the Beast. That's a high priority target for Force of Will. Because not only will you knock out a threat, but you'll knock out a potential 2-for-1. So that went about as well as it possibly could. Except now they have Murktide Regent. We do have some outs. And hitting your land drop's always nice. Double bolt might be appropriate here. I don't often like it, but yeah, let's just do it. I could have seen if they wanted to block first. That was pretty loose. They probably would have. And I definitely would have sent with Bowmasters too, so yeah, that was bad. I apologize. And of course, Edict was right around the corner. But when you're playing against Delver, it's important to not really go to the single digits. That's usually my rule. I should see if I can hit a land drop here. Yeah. Alright. Now that we have 4 mana and Cling to Dust can be escaped, we'll be in pretty good shape from here on out. Looks like they're using their Bauble to get some card selection. As long as it's not Seek the Beast, we should be in good shape. If it is, that's pretty scary. And then it's important to squeeze every little card you can out of here, so this turn I will be trying to escape Cling. Getting wastelanded is always a consideration. And now there's no target for Cling. They're also holding up this mana. It's pretty strange. I think I always do this. And they'll pack it up from there. Okay. The Hydroblasts are cool, especially if they're playing Core Steel Cutter. Pyroblast is cool. Spellbomb is cool. Do I take the one of Leyline? It's not bad, especially as a one of. Definitely want Fatal Push. I also cut Reanimate in this matchup just because their creatures aren't really impressive enough to take. Even though we would like a DRC. Yeah, we'll take the Leyline. Then Dack Fayden, the big blue stuff essentially. Hullbreacher. Hullbreacher's a little better because I was Flash, but yeah, Dack just kind of is a sitting duck for Red Blast. And then I think Gaia Reach can go as well. Well, I don't know actually. I kind of like the idea of Gaia Reach in this matchup. One Thoughtseize on the draw is more than enough. 3 Blue Blasts almost feels like too much. This has to be a keep. If they do have a wasteland, maybe I can bait it out with this Gaia Reach Sanitarium. It also looks like a real desperate ass land to play first, but no, they're not budging. Hydroblast is actually, 3 Hydroblast is not too many at all when I think about it, because Seek the Beast is like a high priority hit for that. I like it now. Changed my mind. But they don't have Seek the Beast. What are they up to? They're just playing lands. Well, I probably need both of these to be black sources in the case of Wasteland, so... Well, one of them can be a basic island. I don't think they're going to budge on a Wasteland. They're not budging on anything. There's one. Yeah, I think I need to hold Hydroblast. Because usually, if Hydroblast is your only answer for DRC, you want to do it on the stack so they don't get any Surveil triggers. As it stands, though, I'd really rather hold this for Seek the Beast. Speaking of, put a card on top. Alright, we'll try to Fatal Push now. Thundering Falls. Could be good. I think I'll play it now. Yep. I will take the Bolt. Even though I'm about ready to find a threat. Yeah, how am I going to win? There's no Kaito. I think Baraglyph is like our best bet. Preferably after an artifact and a planeswalker have hit the graveyard as well. But I think I cited out both of my... Yeah, all my planeswalkers are out. Because they're all pretty soft to red and blue blast. I mean, Narset's not soft to blue blast, but... I don't think there's any harm in doing this. Dropping a Daze makes sense. Alright, send it back. I guess I'm hardcasting Force on just about anything, except for Seek the Beast. It's too dangerous if that gets dazed and resolves. But yeah, we'll do it on this. Certainly predictable. We're hoping they don't have a second Blue Blast for the Molten Collapse, but that'd be pretty abnormal. Yeah. I don't know how correct this is, but I think I'm drawing towards scarier stuff than they are. And they're discarding real spells. I discarded a land. There's some weird equity to be seen in there. And I guess I'll just hold that to discard to Sanitarium. Yep. Yep. They need this. I need it to not resolve. Oh my god. Alright, let me have it. Hit Ponder Force. That's pretty good. Brainstorm. I assume they're doing that in case they want to shuffle. DRC. This will probably be Questing Druid. They're getting a lot of cards from exile. Bolt there. Okay. That gets a card anyways. You put a card on top. And I think I certainly push Questing Druid. It has potential to get way too big. I think I messed up though. I think I shouldn't have cared about the Surveil. I think I should have just waited for that Force to lapse. I mean, I don't know. I got a card out of their hand anyways. Like, it's really hard to draw the line with that one. And they don't shuffle. Yee. Yee. All three Blue Blasts representing. I'll keep a Ponder. Oh god. Oh, good. I mean, this card is still scary. Especially without Snapcaster Mage in this build. I feel like I'm through a lot of my removal spells. Alright. Oh, shit. I guess I'll work on their sorceries, right? Yeah, that seems right. Okay, now Brainstorm. Bowmasters, that's a good one. Especially with Gaia Reach. I mean, you gotta assume that they're hitting some lightning bolts by this point. Oh, shoot. Murktide Regent is not good. We are in deep trouble with that. I need to chump that. Our red blasts have not shown up yet. Looking forward to those. Take out Delver. Chump questing Druid, unfortunately. What the heck? Okay. Brainstorm. Not good. I can't Gaia Reach and Cling. So we'll definitely just Cling here. Hit Rainforest. Every damage counts. Oh no, it's the island again. Yeah, we're in trouble. Real deep trouble. Might get another turn. Kolaghan's command. It's crazy we haven't even seen, like, Baleful Strix. Yeah, I don't think these are cutting it. We gotta go a little deeper. And deeper. Wow. Our outs are evading us pretty heavily here. But we have a blocker. Brainstorm. I'll be shocked if they can't find a bolt. Ponder. Bobble. Looking at my top card. It'll be gone soon. Yeah, somehow we're going to combat. And I'm yet living. Surely the plan can't be to bolt me after, right? Alright, Ponder. Show me Strix into Strix, I guess. They'll force. It's pretty much game. Pitching Murktide. Let's do this. Opponent's laughing like a crazy person. Even after all the bonding I attempted. Alright. That was rough. We missed pretty heavily. What does that mean? I guess that means I'd rather have just, like, more answers to their creatures, which is hilarious, but they're so incredibly threat dense. Looks like they're playing like Delver. I don't know. I try not to ever be like, we got unlucky. Yeah, I think the Sanitarium should go. Let's try this. Huh. Mulligan. Alright, I'll try it. Opponent's also taking a mulligan. That's nice. Okay. We'll start with a Ponder. And yeah, there's no basic mountain in this deck, so we might be continually fighting to maintain our red source. But that should be okay. I think. As long as we don't really need red mana very much. Except we do. I don't know. Maybe I'll do my own version of this deck. There are like a lot of red sources, but I mean, and from my experience in this matchup, it doesn't really matter all that much. when you need the mana and you need to beat Daze, you need it right then. Try this. Gets a force, that's nice. So hopefully Delver does not flip. If it does, I'll use Kolaghan's command. If it doesn't, that's cool. Ooh. Change of plans. I think we definitely hit DRC. Just because Kolaghan's command can't ever beat that card. Okay. Do that. Not to mention, the surveils are very relevant. Still no flip there. There's Wasteland. Maybe I won't surveil then. Because, yeah, really want to beat Daze. That was a good time to do that. It also lets me surveil, though, so that's cool. What'd they flip? Bobble Tarn? No! Fuck. Oh. I'm so punished for that, too. Look at this terrible draw. Oh, God. Oh, Gog. Nah, fuck it. Sorry, Pokemoki. I have this nagging feeling I didn't do well against Mud either. That's a tough matchup. Questing Druid. Bobble. I'll take one. Nah, I should have seen if the Kolaghan's command is going to resolve, actually. That was kind of a mistake. Because I would have taken that trade if it wasn't going to. Okay, yeah, that happened really quickly. Okay, they're good enough. Whew. Okay. Welcome back for round number 3. Opponent takes a mulligan. I like this hand quite a bit. A little soft to Wasteland. Opponent down to 5. This could be like oops all spells. And they'll often just try and send it in game 1. With protection if they can, but sometimes they can't afford to. We'll see. Yep. Agadeem tapped. Okay. So they might need to make another land drop before they can send it. I'll play that. Hard to say whether it's better to surveil or brainstorm and then shuffle, but given that brainstorm is my only blue card, it's a little safer to do it like this. Strix. It's a blue card. Yeah. Send it back. Thoughtseize. I likely need to save this Force of Will. Unless there's 2. That's harder to disrupt. So what am I trying to hide then? Could hide both of them. Seems a little dangerous if they can go off right now, though. Yeah, that's not smart. So I'll hide my clock, I guess. Makes sense. Mana's gonna be short, so start getting them to 0 here. Any way you can. See if I can find Force. Thoughtseize. We'll shuffle. Okay. Hmm. This is not good. It might feel good, but I assure you it's not. As soon as they hit that one little piece, oh my god, everything's gonna explode. Do I even play these lands out? I feel like I need to bluff more than anything. I mean, I think I do, because Hardcast Force might be important. Their deck's very redundant. That might be what they were missing. It might be go time. Informer. Why did I just let that resolve? Pact. Pact. So yeah, their hand is like probably 2 pact negations. Might as well have made them cast it though, right? Is there a bridge from below? There's Poxwalkers. Yeah. Alright. Leyline. I guess Dress Down has some text. Thoughtseize, another Spell Bomb sure is nice. Cut Collapse and Edict. If they're on the creature plane, I think Fatal Push usually does just as well. It's like Baragoyf, Raging Regisaur. Everything's 3 mana. Then I want my endgame, but Kolaghan's Command is not the best here. Don't need both swamps. Yeah, that was weird. Not sure why I thought it was okay to let that resolve, but yeah. They kept their hand for a reason, and I think it definitely had Pact of Negation. Like 2 is a weird amount to have in the graveyard. They probably had at least 1. It looks good. Taking a mulligan makes sense. Oops should, in theory, mulligan quite a bit. Pretty tempting to get bad lands here, but it's just not how you play the deck. Wow, it's a good hand. If I take Pact of Negation, it's way too suspicious. But it is kind of the thing that can help them win, so... See if they still go for it. If they go for it, it probably means they top decked another Pact. Oh god. Is this really happening? Or is it just acceptable to get the force out of my hand? Seems like the latter. That was a good draw. Alright, I still have a Cabal Ritual, which is very scary. Seems like they're still on the combo, though. So this Fatal Push feels pretty bad. Let's get to going. Hopefully they're drawing Narcomoebas and stuff like that. We don't need a 4th land. Reanimate. That's good. I think. You should only do this if you're really ready. And they have 1 mana up. I can't counter Memory's Journey or like use Graveyard Hate on it, so actually would not be very smart. I could do it on myself. I like doing this too because sometimes they play Reanimate. Whoa. Jesus Christ. Oh, it milled over Kling though, that's cool. And they see my singleton leyline. They might think there are more of those than just one. That's an absurd amount of cards that milled over. Oh, this is scary. This is really scary. Force but no blue card. No fourth land for Cling to Dust. I feel like the best I can do is Fatal Push one of my own creatures to get the bridges out. Yeah, we might lose it here. Unless they go Charby and pass. Does not seem to be the case. Maybe their Narcomoebas are in hand, I don't know. I'll be really sad if their Memory's Journey was in hand. We could have got them. No, that was not the case. Ah, shit. That's sad. I feel like we really had a shot. Damn. Getting 2-0'd by Oops does not feel good. It's not usually how this goes either. I guess to be fair. Oh, they did have the Reanimate too, so I feel like I did everything right, but yeah, I just didn't quite get what I needed from my deck. I needed a relevant draw. Even just a land would have been great there, a land that's not Thundering Falls, that is. Is there anything I can do? Anything at all? There's Dread Return. There's Bridge from Below. There's one Poxwalkers. I only see one Poxwalkers. Just don't think this is enough. Yeah, I can push my own creature, knock out the bridge. Maybe this does work. They might not be able to get to 3 creatures. But they also might have Pact of Negation in their hand. Oh wait, no, I see 4 Pacts. So yeah, this might work. I don't know. It's worth a shot. Usually it's complete mutt at this point, since yeah, they could have a lot more Poxwalkers. If they have Poxwalkers stuck in their hand and they therapy themselves, I think I will lose. Yeah, they're targeting themselves. It was so close. And there, that's 3 creatures. Alright, sweet. Y'all know how to beat the deck. It's just a bit of a coin toss whether or not you get the right tools. Here we go for round number 4. The deck has been performing great, but we've definitely been on the wrong side for a lot of things. Which I feel like I can say that about every match of Magic. Another mulligan from the opponent. We'll lead on that. Look like show and tell. Yeah, I'll keep a force. Sometimes forcing through Narset is it's Good enough to beat a lot of decks. Torpor Orb. So I'm gonna guess this was probably Stifle Knot. Start with a Ponder. Yeah, it seems pretty good. Then mill over that Swamp. Draw another Hullbreacher. I think I'll probably call it after this one and record the last match tomorrow. I'm losing my voice again. It's been a long road to recovery. Null Drifter. Speaking of which, I'm losing my mind. I should have forced before that trigger went off. Didn't matter. That was bad. Gonna start with Narset. That just resolved mega fast. We missed. Travesty. So rarely happens. I think we're putting up a good fight, despite so many variance things going wrong today. Another Null Drifter. They don't draw, but it's a devastating creature. We really need this to hit this time. Cling. Sure hits. Kolaghan's Command can start containing this. We kind of get one turn of freedom from this Annihilator because they'll probably attack Narset with Null Drifter and we can just sacrifice it to the Annihilator trigger and be done with that. Cast Ponder. Here's Molten Collapse, that's pretty good. Why are they acting like they have counter magic all of a sudden though? Okay. If we want to move to our endgame, I feel like we really need Dack Fayden here. Stock up. They're at 11. Could pressure them out of this. Dreadnought. And another one. Okay, I probably really need to force the will here. No luck. Yep. This is pretty crazy. What do I even do? Definitely destroy a Dreadnought. Do I deal 2 to them? I'm not going to be able to get across the line in time. This Hullbreacher costs 3. These are things everyone knows. I could hit my other Kolaghan's Command. I could hit Shieldred's Edict. There's a lot of hits. But yeah, things are coming in the wrong order, as usual. Well, not as usual, but as far as this league has been going. Okay, they are attacking Narset. We might really have a shot here. If we're deploying double Hullbreacher. I need them to not hit another Dreadnought. Okay. Baragoyf. I gain 7. I go to 24. That's what I've got. Jeez, yeah. If I just had one more mana. The Hullbreachers. The Hullbreachers. Otawara. Lightning Bolt, I wish. Yep. Jeez. Could use a break here. Consign, Fatal Push. This version is a lot more combo-y. Pyroblast is good against stock up. Dack Fayden is great. Every card's great. Things are just not lining up super well. Reanimate's good too. Lightning Bolt, I'm on the fence. Spellbomb can go. Bowmasters is in a weird spot too. Gets impacted by Torpor Orb pretty heavily. And you know they're white for Swords of Plowshares. Nothing else really makes sense. So Baragwif is really hard to leverage. I'll trim one force. This version plays Saga, I think. I think Meltdown might actually be kind of good. It's not that hard to get it to answer Torpor Orb either. It's not like a Mystic Forge or anything. It's not impossible. Yeah, we'll go down to 2 forces and then 1 Lightning Bolt. Yep. It's not very exciting, but it's steady. It's got creature removal. There's no guarantee that R6 would be any better. Plus there's 2 Surveil lands in this build. We want to not see turn 1 Torpor Orb, and yeah, we get away with it, so. They've been Dreadnought. That's crazy. I feel like the whole point of this deck is like searching for Dreadnoughts. It also turns on our Reanimate, should we ever find one. Certainly discard that. Or sorry, mill that. Thoughtseize. It's not better than getting ahead of Torpor Orb with our value. Ponder. Opponent has a Ponder. And they'll shuffle. Oh, I see. They've been to Dreadnought because they really need a land. It was a sketchy keep. Bending Swords. Dack Fayden. Okay. Let's try and set up our endgame, I suppose. Yeah, we'll definitely take Torpor Orb here. And we really want to sneak Dack through all this shit. But mostly Spell Pierce, because they're not showing any red yet. Wait, will we take Torpor Orb? Maybe not. Maybe I take Spell Pierce just to make sure I can get Dack through. It's one of those weird spots where I probably should have pondered first. Yeah. We still need kind of a lot to go right. Yeah. That was not much of a game. I guess we deserved a free one after all we've been through. I see a Hullbreacher over there. Maybe I don't want to lose the bolts. Bring back a force. Yeah, we can go down to 1 Hullbreacher. Between Swords and Red Elemental Blast, I don't have high hopes of sticking it. And then I think I'm fine trimming one of the volcanic islands. Do you think they're playing a Wasteland? Do they have room for that? Thoughtseizing that hand looked like an entirely different deck. Do I still want Meltdown? Do they play Saga in this deck even? Stick with 1. Seems like a good compromise. Oh, this hand seems really good. Must to be disciplined with your Tamiyo, though. Don't play it on 1. Play it on 2. Okay, they don't do anything. If I can hit Consign to Memory, or Torpor Orb with Consign to Memory, I'll be feeling like a pretty cool person. No? Alright. Naturally hitting our lands. You must admit that's pretty cool. Opponent will brainstorm. I guess if they red blast this on the stack, it's a good way to foil my plans. Okay. I highly doubt they play Plateau as well, so if they try to source this in the end step, they'll be off red for a moment. Bidding Torpor Orb. I can't imagine what that means. Okay. More Bowmasters. Never too unhappy to see that. Getting a trigger. I'm just gonna chill. This should ultimately favor me. Dress down. Fascinating. Resolves. Brainstorm. Also resolves. Alright, you're untapping with 7. Got a dress down out. What's the move? If it's Null Drifter, Consign lines up quite well against that. A Dreadnought. I'll try to counter that. If they go Null Drifter after this, well played. Well, there's one down. Torpor Orb. This card is such a long-term problem, you know? They're just really representing Red Blast right now. It's not like we have ways of not dealing with this. And if they had a way to beat Tamiyo as well, I feel like that would have been the time to do it. When it couldn't even transform. So I'm gonna Surveil. Hope I don't regret that. Yeah, we'll keep that. Okay. Go ahead and do that. And then we'll flip it. Hopefully hit a land. Shit. That's so bad. Put these Bowmasters away. And yeah, we'll just try and operate with, we'll operate with nothing. Hopefully I'll live to get that consign back. We are in better shape than I'm letting on, though. Maybe I should have tried to ponder. Ponder and hit a land. Definitely red blast the stock up. That's something you do. Spell Pierce. Do I force stock up? We're just trying to deplete them, aren't we? Yeah. Okay. Fighting hard. We're now 2-2. I really would have liked to take down one of those combo decks. I hope everyone can see the world in which that would have been possible. For now, yeah, I'm losing my voice again. I gotta rest. Pick this up tomorrow. Okay. I think I'm feeling quite a bit better today. Real interesting hand here, though. On the play. I don't even know what I'm facing. They're keeping 7. If I play out Thundering Falls, my opponent might think I'm playing... Well, not anymore, but... It looked like Sneak and Show for about half a second. Mishra's Bauble? Are we playing against Delver again? That'd be very interesting. I do still want a Dragon's Rage Channeler, like I said in round 2. That is one creature I would reanimate. Hey, I'll keep the bolts coming. They are not bad in this matchup. End of turn Brainstorm. Yeah, we'll let it resolve and then see what they want to do with it. There's that DRC. Yeah, I really wouldn't mind reanimating something like that. I wonder if I should bolt this now. It might get another trigger if I pass priority again. And that would not be great. We're going to use that for selection. I think reanimating Murktide Regent, while it would be cool to have a 3/3 flyer, it would just be an insane thing to do from a life total standpoint. Because your life total is extra time in this matchup. You get extra turns, which means you get more cards. It's important to keep it, high. Gyre Reach Bowmasters. That could be a removal spell on a Delver after the fact. For now, let's do this. The card selection is so nice. That being said, I'm not going to just like bolt face or something crazy like that. They have Thundering Falls as well. And they're binning a daze, that makes sense. A little late for that one to be impactful. Tropical Island. These decks are often rug these days to accommodate Questing Druid. So this is where the hidden advantages come from. Now our removal spells will give us a bit of selection. I'm definitely keeping that Brainstorm. Things just keep getting better here. And we'll Bowmasters this Delver out of the way and hit for 1. They'll Brainstorm in response, that's fine. Without the ability to shuffle, they might be stuck in a pretty awkward spot. Now their life total is lower than ours. I should have played that land out. Maybe, I don't know. It's not tapping for color. They do have an additional DRC, and it is a 3/3, so I can't use Gyre Reach to pick it off. Not without finding... Actually, I can't really take them off Delirium either. Now that they played that fetch land out. Alright. Kolaghan's Command. That's a little risky, I think. Let's do this. Bend that. Pyroblast. Incredible. Main board Red Blast. And we ought to play around days. Yeah, we'll get hit for 3. Oh, that's good. Depending on what they come up with. Yeah, that's really good. Dang. All 4 DRCs. Bobble Days. Yeah, Bobble's pretty nice. And another card on top. This is quite a jam somehow. Just land. Things are not going well. They kind of have to block because of Kaito. Or not. Damn it. I guess the Gaia Reach is also face up. That's really funny. Didn't think about that. Yeah, we might lose to this, unfortunately. Questing Druid. Delver of Secrets. That one I can pick off. Do this right now. Clang, that's a good one. Put it in the graveyard. Dropping Ponder makes sense. It's insane I don't have Delirium yet. It's so funny. Yikes. Alright, do this. That's more like it. Discard Thoughtseize. Pick off your Delver. There's no way they're holding on to a... I don't know. Daze at this point. Oh my fucking god. This person's insane. They probably have us here. God, that's crazy. Truly wild behavior. But I guess it's gonna work. Mainboard Pyroblast and holding Daze for that long. What can you do? Alright, so I want Delirium after combat. Boy, it's close. Yeah, it's not enough. Hanging in there. Unholy Heat. They put a card on top. I have no idea what that means. Are they finally gonna bolt me? Could also just mean like Murktide Regent or something. Some inevitability. Yep. Had a feeling. And they're getting their Questing Druid up to a 4/4. This one took quite a turn. Alright, cool. Well, I don't know. Guess I might as well do this. Yep. Could have hit Strix there. Same deal. I don't know if I sided up the Sanitarium last time, but it seems right. Reanimate versus Spellbomb. I kind of like having two Spellbombs. As you saw, like DRC and Murktide are their most troublesome threats. I should have a hard time keeping up with this. It's also pretty weird not seeing any wastelands. It's pretty nice to see them hold off on a play. Okay, I don't really want to walk my Strix into a red blast or anything like that, so let's just do that. And yeah, I'd like to ideally get all these cards, but Thoughtseize is the least important. We'll see if I absolutely have to blue blast something. I hope not. They're keeping their dazes in, or some number of them. That's very interesting. Shuffle away the Thoughtseize there. Brainstorm resolves. Flooded Strain, go. Alrighty. Now I think I'll brainstorm. No one likes doing that at the end of turn. Okay, so let's redraw Thundering Falls and then surveil Underground COA. And pass it back. I'm kind of expecting Seek the Beast here, but let's see. Certainly seems like it. Nice. There'll be no shenanigans like last time. None at all, I say. Putting a card on top. I need some resource generation. I don't have like a Kaito in this deck or anything like that. And only one Cling to Dust. See if I can find some resource generation here. I think it might work. Okay, they didn't red blast that. And did they surveil it days away because the game was getting to turn 3, or do they already have one in hand? Alright, that was a good exchange for us, especially with a Hullbreacher potentially coming up. Counterbalance, no. Oh, that sucks. I hate counterbalance. Counterbalance. Get out of here. Alright, this game got weird. I've got flash creatures though, and they probably don't. They don't play that many twos. One of the twos is really bad to show up, Questing Druid, and one of the twos is like really bad for them if it shows up days. So can test with Hullbreacher. Don't mind doing that. It's probably a 1 on top, let's be real. There's Clang. That was a fortunate find. Yeah, this 3-2 is just a monster. They might even reveal it to flip Delver, which actually would mean I can't answer it with Bowmasters anymore, so yeah, never mind. We're going in now. Seek the Beast. Oh man. There's a red blast. And a blue blast on top. Does not apply to my hand. That's cool. Gonna have to deal with that Questing Druid, I think, but it's nice that Seek the Beast was kind of a failure. I really don't like seeing their board expand, my shrink, and the number of cards in their hand not change at all. It really drives me nuts. We know they have a Hydroblast in hand, which is not like great for them. Not yet anyways. Hopefully I can just always invalidate it. Yeah, we'll work on their sorceries first. There's a 0 on top. Cooldown's command. Hydroblast is pretty good against that, turns out. Spell Bomb. It's a great time for that too. Just start clearing these ones while I have the window. Great time to do that. Great time to keep them off Murktide Regent. Lightning Bolt? I mean, sure, why not? Honestly, a fine use. I just don't trust my ability to resolve anything through counterbalance. Yeah, it's even worth the blue blast to them, which is incredible because now Kolaghan's command is going to do some crazy stuff. They just don't have 3s in their deck. You can count on that. They have 2 unknowns though. Brainstorm, like that's ever going to resolve. Yeah, probably just have them discard. Get back. I think Hullbreacher is more likely to resolve, just because, like I said, they don't have 3s. Another Wasteland. That's actually kind of bad for me. I'm running out of stuff. Oh, they had 2 Hydroblasts. Okay, that's funny. Might as well Brainstorm now. And their last card was Daze. Okay. They're out of cards. They're facing down Bowmasters. To make best use of their counterbalance, they kind of need to not have Bowmasters around. They put a card on top. That is bad. I hope it's not Questing Druid. We'll find out. It's not. It's probably Murktide Regent. Like I said in round 2, There are a lot more red sources in the deck, but they're not like stable. You really need that basic mountain for stability in the red source um, red source world. I don't know what you'd... Yep. So what did they put in their hand? Force of Will? That can't be what they want. I really don't care if this gets countered by counterbalance. I also like the information. Delver Secret's cool. Is it Force of Will? What is it? Oh, it's Unholy Heat. Yeah, that's fine. Opponent's down to 5. Blue blasting that lightning bolt seemed like a good move. Let's see if they'll trade Army for Delver. I'm at 18. No, they don't trade. I feel like that's not really their best shot at survival here. I think they want to like get my board clear and hope I get locked into the counterbalance. Okay. Well, guess let's find out what's on top. Another wasteland. That's so wild. Alright, they're good. There's nothing like beating counterbalance. It doesn't happen that often. Especially when you look at the number of 1-drops in this deck. It's always a lot when you face Delver, to be fair. If I brought in this leyline last night for round 2, I was clearly sick and delirious. Can lose a Thoughtseize. And I think we'd probably rather have Narset over Dack Fayden. Thinking about it. I'm taking a mulligan. Yeah, I should too. Oh god. They're down to 5, that's nice. Bottom Kolaghan's Command. Seen this start before. Alright, please give me a land off the top. Shit. Alright. Well, I need to ponder into one now. They're gonna daze? Are they also gonna wasteland me? They've gone berserk. No. Land? Yeah. Blue blast. And Step will cling. Their top decks are apparently delivering. This might be Seek the Beast. Our top decks are kind of delivering too. Okay. We've stymied their early plays, their bids for card advantage, their bids for aggression. They almost did something. I'm not sure what. Let's see if we can get them with a Hullbreacher. If not, I'm perfectly happy drawing with Cling. Seems like the point in time they would be cantripping, right? Delver. Are you not going to activate this Bauble? This is where having a basic mountain would be really sweet. I'm not knocking the deck design, it's just a difference in play style and how I like to play. I like that mana-based security, you know? Alright, let's go after the one card that will actually give me a card. And there's no Snapcaster Mage in this deck, so I have like no compunctions doing that. It's just really not time to brainstorm yet. If I start flooding, it might be appropriate. Hullbreacher. They have an Unholy Heat, sure. They're drawing Days. I guess I'll do this now. Just in case they just drew another one. Ooh. Okay, their hand is pretty soft. If I can find Baragoyf here, that's pretty good too. And do a lot of hard work for them. I'm not going to play that out. I need to turn it into a real card. Alright, fine. Alright, fine. Probably draw that other Brainstorm, to be honest. Would be nice if they played out, yeah, that. We know their last card is Days. We'll just do that. This was a mistake. I should have done this on their end step. Because they can Daze and then get a Surveil. Alright. Let's start the clock. As long as I can keep up with whatever they draw from here. And a lot of their draws are quite punishing with this Bowmaster's out. We should be good to go. Sure. Let's maintain the status quo. And also bluff Red Blast, I guess. Baragoyf, Baragoyf. Damn. No reason to play that out again. We'd much rather it be some form of interaction. They're getting kind of a lot of cards in hand. Once they go from 3 to 4 cards, they're capable of some pretty crazy stuff. There it is, that's what we wanted. As long as it's out of bolt range. Days I will pay. The red deck's worst nightmare. Alright, we did it. Pulled off a positive record for my first run with POKEMOKI'S second place challenge list for Grixis Control. And I think that definitely speaks to the deck's power level. It played quite differently than what I'm used to. The sideboard was quite a bit different as well. I felt myself kind of having to shift my plan a lot of the times. And I also think it was one of those interesting leagues where the most interesting matches were the ones we lost. I guess that happens. I think that's true a lot of the time. But yeah, against Mud, we got to do our own combo in game one and then just kind of could not get over the line in some pretty thin ways post sideboard. And then against Oops All Spells, you're always kind of flipping a coin when you go up against that deck. And you're kind of hoping they don't find it fast enough, but of course their deck is so redundant. You really have to pick the things you fight over. And then, yeah, Delver, Dreadnought, these tempo decks should be really good matchups for us. So yeah, I hope that was just another good example of there's no wrong way to build Grixis Control. There's so many great ways to build this archetype. I think that we can all kind of be in agreement over some core parts of the deck's philosophy, though, like having a lot of basics in your mana base and Lightning Bolt and Cling to Dust. Okay, cool. Check out POKEMOKI'S channel. Lots of cool stuff. And stay tuned to this one. We'll be working on Grixis Control for as far as I can foresee. Alright, I'm gonna go get some rest. I'll catch y'all next time.